Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read-through for Kubera, Season 2, Episodes 124 through 126. Gonna be finishing off the Isle of Mysteries, Mythical Island, Mystery Island. Gonna be finishing off this arc this time around, so 3 chapters again. I heard the ones like around this part of the story were pretty wordy, but we're gonna do what we can. I'm in a bit of a rush. Not really. I'm not gonna rush it, but I also don't have very much time. So there is, both of those things can be true. I'm gonna take my time with it either way, even though I don't have much time today. But next time I will try to do 4 chapters and then 4 for splitting the next arc in 2. But we'll see how things go. Either way, and then after that, when we get into the massive arc with like 30 chapters, we might just do 3 a week so that I have time for other things, and just to make sure I have time for things every week. Or I could just do however many I feel like I have time for. We'll see. We'll just see how things end up. But either way, let's start reading this time around, starting with 124. We're continuing at Atera to kill everyone with the name Kubera. That's right. The attack on Atera and the mass movement of Shuras targeting Rinhala right now. It's all part of their plan, since people with that name are spread all over the place. Then I'll have to send out an official notice. They need to know about this at Rindhollow. How do you think the people in Rindhollow will respond if you tell them this? Do you think they'll try to protect those who are named Kubera from the Shuras, or will they track them down and hand them over to the Shuras? Of course I think every life is precious. But as a priestess, it's obviously my duty to stop a major disaster from occurring. If one person's sacrifice can save, isn't it obvious? Am I wrong about this? Let's put aside the difficult part. For now, just think about whether that sacrifice will be beneficial in the long run. What could the Shuras be trying to accomplish by killing all of those with the name Kubera? Could it be beneficial for the humans? If their goal is something even more dangerous than destroying a city, then what should we do? And we see a bit of snake coils there. Mythical Island, Part 4. Even more dangerous. Yeah, something very dangerous that not even a god could handle. What? What should I do? Judging from how seriously he's speaking, something big must really be about to happen. What could be happening? Is there anything I can do about it? What should I do to protect as many people as possible? Okay, that's enough. Your vigor started running out, Brilith. This is why I have no choice but to burn up all the official notices and stop you from worrying anymore. The really important problem is something else. You can't let yourself get distracted by another matter. The more anxious and worried you get, the more problems you'll have with your vigor, and the situation will only get worse. So just trust me and relax. It'll all turn out fine. But it's not like I'm a goddess. I can't control my emotions just as I want. I'm sorry. I'll try to control myself. What are you doing? You've gotten so thin. Has our priestess been feeding herself properly? I have eaten. Don't worry. Tell me if you're stressed. I'm not stressed. My vigor will get better once I get some sleep. Want to sleep together, and then turns completely red. Don't joke like that. And he can tell this is kind of rough because, again, his being here is dependent on her vigor, so she needs to keep in good emotion because of it. But being overwhelmed by worry could mess everything up, and it's hard not to worry when things are this dire. Now we're cutting over. Here, I brought you to the Magic Guild, just like I promised. A free teleport service from your friendly priestess. Wow, all the way here from the Sky Tower with just a single spell. You really are incredible, Mirha. I am the Priestess of Wind, after all. I should be, at least be better at wind magic than anyone else. Plus, my legs aren't good, so I have no choice but to rely on magic. Your legs aren't good? Sorry, you wandered around today a lot because of me. No, I'm alright. This is no big deal. If it bothered me too much, I would have already used the magic. Plus, I'm the one who wanted to show you around, and you had no way of knowing about my legs. Still, sorry, because of me? Please, and then she is startled. Have you already forgotten what I told you before? Keep your head straight, and be more assertive. You'll only make things hard for yourself if you turn everything into your own fault. Seriously. I mean it, because it was like that for me. Mirha? Right, Lise. I saw your profile before you came here. That your birthday attributes are all Earth attributes. Do you know how to perform all the Kubera spells? No. I can use Hoti Kubera, but Bhavati Kubera still... I've managed to float off the ground, but I need a teacher for the next part. Wow. You mean you figured out how to float off on your own with no teacher? That's amazing. You must have some natural talent for Kubera spells, Lise. I wouldn't say talent. Anyway, she didn't learn the skill the way that I thought she did, so forget it. Perfect timing. If you come to our temple, we have a magician there who knows how to use Bhavati Kubera. You may not be able to practice it since it's an impossible spell in this region, but at least you can learn about how to do it. And it's complex. I trust Mirha just because I don't think the series is doing this, but it could also be like a thing where we have Asha being so harsh on Lise, treating her so rough, but she finally has, this person treating her so nicely, empathizing with her so much, and it could all be a ploy to use Lise. I don't think that's where this is going, but that would be an interesting way to take the story. Though I think Mirha is just genuinely being nice, and I think it's supposed to juxtapose all of these people who Lise runs into being nice to her compared to Asha, who's always been around, not being nice to her. You can fall another 1,000 times, but it won't work. So make sure you come to my temple. I'll make time for you no matter when you come. Thank you, Mirha. Don't mention it. It's not like I can teach you the spell anyway. All I can do is introduce you to another magician. Still, thanks. Not just for the spell, but for everything today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you appreciate it that much? Then could you do me just one favor? Sure, what kind of favor? Whatever it is, as long as I can do it. Please remember what we talked about today. And don't forget it like you just did earlier. Okay, I'll keep that in mind, but what's the favor? I just told you. Huh? My secretary will worry if I'm not back soon. See you again at the temple, Lise. Hoti Vayu. And again, I think this is genuine because I think Mirha is empathizing with Lise and is like, you are literally me. She's like, oh my god, literally me. And then because of that, she doesn't want Lise to go into a mindset that hurts herself further, just like she did. So I think that that's the reasoning behind it. She must have been in a rush. I didn't even get to say goodbye. Still. And then I can go meet her again when I go to the temple. We have Asha listening on. That face is so good. That Asha expression is so good. To be continued. Another really, really great chapter. It felt shorter than some of the ones last week. Some of the ones last week were pretty hefty. But that was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I think more heavy character stuff than being fun. We have the character stuff with Brilith, which I think is going to continue to be really important because it ties into Agni's entire being here. So there's that side of things. But then the other side of things with Lise and Asha and Mirha, I think I have the right read on it. Again, if it was all like Mirha was trying to use her, that would be an interesting, deep way of going about it. And it's that really Asha knows what she's doing and Lise needs to trust the process, but I don't think that's what's happening. I think what's happening is we're showing all these other people like Ron and Agni and even Gandharva, all these other people like give Lise the benefit of the doubt and be nice to Lise to compare to how Asha treats her. And also I think the big thing with Mirha is Mirha being very similar to Lise, and we still need to find out to the backstory in more detail, where Mirha had this close, personal relationship with Asha and sees Lise going through basically the same thing again and is trying to be like, hey, I went through this and learned my lesson, so I'm trying to give you a shortcut on the lesson. I'm trying to tell you a little early. Also, it's interesting to note that I don't think we're actually going to learn from the Bavati Kubera person here, because Kubera, way back in God Kubera, Shinkube, said back in Calibloom, oh, Teo would be a good teacher for you and everything, and then Lise went away and didn't get taught anything by Teo. I don't even remember the two particularly interacting. So now Lise is here, and we're like, oh yeah, unnamed Bavati Kubera teacher, and I think there's a good chance, once again, that we might not even get to meet this person. But either way, let's go read the afterword before we continue. Afterword for this chapter is February 7th, 2015 marked the 5th anniversary of Kubera's serialization. That's wild. Over 10 years ago. On Naver Webtoon. I forgot about it too, but then I remembered it after seeing the congratulatory message. Thank you for your congratulations. We'll plan something special for our 6th anniversary. Then, not very cozy. And then, if you've read Volume 3 of the single volume series, you'll feel like you've seen this scene somewhere. There's someone with him in Volume 3. The gold makes me think of God Kubera, but I'm thinking that this is I was actually thinking that this could be Ananta, because we know that a big, like, we're like, oh, what are the Shura planning? What are the Shura trying to do that they need to eliminate Kubera or whatever? And it seems that Sagara has some, like, big personal stuff going on when it comes to whatever happened with Ananta, and it almost makes me think, is Sagara trying to bring Ananta back to life? And maybe they've even said that and I've just forgotten it, but that almost makes me think that. And also there could be a connection there, because Ananta is the Earth tribe, whereas, like, the Earth tribe of Shura, whereas Kubera is the Earth god. So it could be a connection there because of that. And then Mira's a bit shorter than Lee's. By the way, Mira's body's so flat, in the parentheses, that some people asked if she was a guy by chance. She's a girl. It's a bit hidden by the coat now, but if you look at the first part of episode 121 of part 2, it's a bit curved. Please keep in mind that she's still young. I don't know how old she is. I was going to say, I think we got an age, because she mentioned her age and it was older than Lee's, and then she's like, but I'm a quarter, so it's, technically only half that. But either way, that's it for this afterward. Let's go read the next chapter. Starting 125, we see nighttime here at the Magic Union. Mirha said she had originally come here because she had to see Asha about something, but she ended up leaving without seeing her. Then should I talk to Asha and go see her together? But if I tell her the truth, I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for going outside without permission. What are you doing? Anji hides the card. Terrible at lying. What are you hiding? Nothing. I should think of something else to talk about. Asha, about items that change your hair color. Don't ask me to buy you any useless crap. I wasn't going to ask you to buy me one. I know this person whose hair color turns blonde at night, but they say that the god Kubera's hair also turns gold at night. I couldn't talk on the tower, but now the words are just flowing right out of my mouth. I guess the air really was bad back then. I feel like something was keeping her from talking. But it's interesting that she can talk now. They don't look alike at all in the picture I saw, but their hair color is exactly the same. In the picture I saw? Where was that? Immediately. Okay, this is the panel that was in the thumbnail. Okay, that's so funny. I love this panel. Am I really an idiot? Is she going to lecture me for 3 hours again? That's one of the best panels in the series. And now we have part 5. It's obvious. Mira must have taken you to the Sky Tower. How did you know? I heard from an employee at the cafe that you left with Mirha. And the Sky Tower is a well-known tourist attraction in Narrow Plateau. It's an especially perfect place for drawing the attention of people like you. If a famous person like her asked you to go with her, of course you'd follow her. Anyone in this city would have done the same, so I don't intend on scolding you for that. That's so strange. I was sure she was going to get mad. So, Asha, can I meet her again? I got this, too. Actually, she said that she came here to meet you, but she ran into me by chance. So if we go together, sure, let's go together. Really? I'm so excited. I was so worried, but now that's all gone. I figured Asha would maybe at least be mad at her for trying to lie about it and hide it, though. Continue with the story you were talking about earlier. What was that about someone you know? I was just saying that I know someone like that. He told me not to tell anyone, so I'd better stop. It's the man you met on the first day you wore that bracelet, isn't it? A very tall man wearing a black cape. Huh? Yeah, how did she know? Well, come to think of it, Asha hasn't asked me anything since I first put on this bracelet. Even at that time, she talked as if she knew everything. Asha, do you know him too? Yeah. He isn't famous, but he's a fighter that I personally know very well. Fighter? I guess he did kind of seem like a fighter. So he's not a magician? He had all kinds of amazing powers, though. Were all those because of his items? That's right. He may use all kinds of spells because he has a lot of magic items. But if you take those away, he's just a fighter with a few transcendentals. He can't use magic at all. Wait, so he told me to learn to use magic when he can't even use it himself? Now that I think of it, he did talk like he knew Asha in the waterways. No wonder he always seemed to show up wherever Asha was. He could have just told me from the start that he knows her, and here I was struggling to try to keep it a secret. I just want to check something. So tell me what happened with that fighter. Well, it's a long story. Hold on. Aren't you hungry? Let's talk over dinner. Here, choose anything you want to eat. It's like I said about Mira. It feels like the eat whatever you want before putting Lee's down. Oh no. Why aren't you taking it? I'm just surprised. Then I'll have this and this. So not only did that Mr. No-Name steal the thing from the box, but even insisted that it was his. He goes, it was in the box, but it's mine. Geez, what kind of logic is that? Did you just call him Mr. No-Name? At first I just called him Mr. because I didn't know his name, but when I asked him later, he says he doesn't have a name. And maybe he doesn't have a name because Lee's already has it. I offered to come up with a cool name for him, but he refused. He just told me to call him Mr. So anyway, I told him if he steals that item, he'll go to hell and be punished by Agni. And then, I don't know if it's because he's afraid of hell, but he asked me to race him. The recap from Lisa's mind. He was going to throw the bracelet as far as he could, and whoever picks it up first gets to keep it. I mean, like, technically it's all true, but the Lee's sort of view of it is hilarious. You should have chosen the box at that time. What if that man had run away with the box while you went after the bracelet? Moment of realization. Forget it, keep going. And again, I love how we have Asha asking this very simple question, and Lee's hasn't even thought of it this entire time. Yeah, so I ran after the bracelet. Asha, this is the first time you've listened to me for so long. I hope we can talk like this more often. Tell me about yourself next time. Sure, next time. Man, that seemed extremely sad. Mira, as you requested, I tried contacting several places, from Atera, which Lee's and Asha first visited, to temples, magic guilds, and magic academies. I haven't received a reply from the temples yet, and these are what the magic guilds have sent in response. The general manager sent it because Roosh, the branch president, is absent. Doesn't it seem strange that Asha made a request like that, ordering the employees to keep it a secret from Lee's? Okay. Oh, when Lorraine went to test with the Red Sky stuff. I have an idea why she did that, but I need something more certain. Is there anything else? There's a reply from the Magic Academy. It's from someone at the Academy who often visits temples. Lee's was in Atera for almost a month, but it appears she was completely locked inside the temple and was unable to see the outside world. Apparently this was a particular order from Asha. So all the flashbacks forgetting. So not only did almost no one outside of the temple know of Lisa's existence, but there doesn't seem to have really been many opportunities for outside information to reach Lise. This is an incredible chapter. I love how we've been flashing back to things and adding new context and stuff. it's so funny because I think this is an extremely good chapter, and yet it was probably one of the easiest chapters for Kurigam, not having to redraw too much, like using some of these flashbacks. As you can see from the documents that you're holding, Asha blocked all of these? Yeah, that's what they said. At the time, in spite of it being difficult for Asha to do anything because of the after effects of the barrier, it appears she convinced the people in charge with something all along the lines of, Lisa's still young, so I want to keep her from knowing about brutal things like the Red Sky incident. That's a lie. There's no reason to hide that incident from Lise. What Asha wanted to block was not the Red Sky incident. It was that people survived. And now we have information banned from Lise Hyas, and we have Kaslane and Haslane brothers. So we have 2 that survived there, plus the reading that... Okay, so people know that they're survivors from the village. It was confirmed by Lorraine. It was the final remaining relationship of a girl who had lost everything. And again, knowing that she had anyone left could have messed up her relationship with Asha. And I think that's what Asha is doing, the abusive relationship thing of separating people from their other friends and family. Very, very much continuing the trend of abusive relationship Asha. Okay. Very good chapter once again. I think that was an incredible, amazing chapter, which again, like I said, is so funny because Kurigam has probably had to work so hard on so many other chapters to try to get a chapter out every week. And then this chapter that's amazing is just one that could reuse a bunch of stuff. But that was an amazing chapter. Let's go read the afterword before we continue, though. The afterword this time, of course, has this really great battle. Lise bows to wish you a happy new year. Then the fried rice and salad you see above are what Asha ordered. While Asha couldn't even finish half of that, the empty plate in front of Lise was a mountain. Although she looks much bigger than Mirha, she's actually younger than Mirha. This is because she's not a quarter. Kaz, who has a super long-term underwater character, appears at least in this photo. Have a nice holiday. And then, hold on, where's the empathy? I don't see any empathy. What? They got rid of the empathy ratings? Oh well. Very fun though. I can't wait to continue reading, so let's just see what's next to finish out the video. 126 starts with, I was told that the passenger ship that left for Miloth will be arriving this afternoon. What have you decided to do? Yes, Father. Good. I'll follow your lead, so tell me. Or have you decided what to do? Okay, that makes so much more sense. I was so confused. Okay, good. I'll follow your lead, so tell me. Whose side are you going to take in this fight? I will. And then we have part 6. Plateau Temple of Wind. Wow, whoa, I've been to several temples, but I think the Temple of Wind's the best from what I've seen so far. I'm only taking a look around, but it's making me feel like I could fly. The garden's really pretty too. It must be hard to manage all that. Taking care of the garden is Mirha's hobby. With just a single Bhavati Vayu spell, the trees get trimmed and the ground is cleaned. Wow, you can do that with that spell? It's usually hard to do something so elaborate with that spell, but it's only possible because it's Mirha. Well, we're here. Go on inside. Mirha's waiting for you. Mirha, welcome, Lise. And we see the father. Well, I'll get going now. Sure. See you later, Father. Ah, so that's Mirha's father? I've heard her father's a priest too. She studied, before she came here. Your name is Lise? Pardon? Yes, my name is Lise Hyas. I think, do they mean like former priest? Or is this the, didn't they say like Urha last chapter or something? Is this the Sky Priest? And then, I hope that you and Mirha will be good friends. And then Urha, okay, this is Urha. I did the thing where literally all I had to do was scroll down one panel and have my answer. Urha Simon, pure blood, 50 years old. And then Priest of Plateau, Sky, Magic Rank A+, 9th place Magic Ranking, 8th place before Ron was promoted to AA, from the planet Carte, immigrated to Wilrarv in D995, 21 years ago. A+ is usually a class reserved for people who fail to pass the barrier test because of differences in attributes in spite of having double A skills, but Ura's the only person to receive an A+ certification for a reason other than the barrier test. Okay. That is interesting. So the same sort of A+ rank as Asha then, but for a different reason. Sure, of course. Nice to meet you, sir. Lise, my secretary will teach you Bhavati Kubera. Wow. So the red hair person? You must have been born with an innate luck for friends. People don't usually stick around after you push them away like that. No matter what happens, you should be grateful to those who support you for the rest of your life. And then, why didn't you introduce her to a magician earlier when she's clearly so enthusiastic? There's a limit to what she can learn on her own. Just tell me why you wanted to see me. It would take a while to explain in words. Start by reading the papers in front of you. I know what you were thinking when you came all the way here, but what are you going to do about this? As you can see, I found plenty of evidence to ruin that plan of yours. It really blows my mind, Asha. Your attitude hasn't advanced a single step since 11 years ago, while only your abilities for satisfying your own desires have grown. It's no work at all for you to make someone feel stupid. Isn't that right? Mirha Simon, okay, we're getting a full box. Quarter, 30 years old. Quarters look half as old as they are. Priestess of Aero Plateau Wind, Magic Rank A, 16th place in the Magic Ranking, 15th place before Ron was promoted to AA. From the planet Carte, immigrated to Wilrarv in N5 11 years ago. Her abilities don't quite live up to her reputation as a genius when she was a child, but even now there's no one on planet Wilrarv who can match her wind magic. How many people know about this? Just me and my secretary, since all the information we've gathered comes from different sources. Not even the people who provided us with this information would likely know what it's for. Even if they could see this, most people would just say, "That's strange," and ignore it. But because it's me, I'm looking into what your intentions are behind all of these instructions that you've supposedly given for Lisa's sake. What do you think? You haven't gone that far as to murder a priestess just to destroy evidence, have you? Why are you letting me know about all of this in advance? Well, it's because I guess, in spite of having critical evidence, I'm going to defend you. Asha looks surprised. If I were to defend you without knowing anything, you'd probably think that I'm still a pushover who blindly trusts you, wouldn't you? I wouldn't want that. It's so unfair to me. Don't get me wrong, Asha. I intend on defending you, but I don't trust you. There's no need to feel anxious. I have no intention of letting other people know what you're up to. More than anything, I just can't bring myself to tell anyone because I feel like it would crush Lise mentally. It would be such a shame for a sweet girl like her to become as twisted as us. Rao wouldn't want his only daughter to fall apart either. So, regarding Lisa's friends, I'll tell her later as if I figured it out on my own. You, Asha, will only be known as Lisa's guardian. I'll keep that revolting scheme of yours to myself. Of course, no matter how the argument with Saha ends, I'll be the one protecting Lise after that. I can't stand to see you using her anymore. Okay, a really good scene. But there weren't supposed to be any passenger ships coming in today, so how'd you change the schedule of the vessel? There's still some time left until the Grand Magician's Conference, though. Then we have Lilia Shu, pureblood 26 years old, head of the Aero Plateau Magic Guild, Magic Rank A, 28th place, 27th before Ram was promoted to AA, from the planet Carte, immigrated to Willarv in N5 11 years ago. While a student at Carte's Magic Academy, she was considered the next best student after Mirha. Okay, is this, never mind, they're talking to Saha. I don't care about when the conference is. I'm heading to the temple right now, to the Temple of Wind. We see that Ron is still with Saha. This is going to be rough, though, because Saha is trying to make things public and everything, probably, whereas, and of course Saha probably doesn't have the same level or the same evidence that Mirha does, but Mirha's trying to protect Lise by protecting Asha. And then next chapter, Falling Petals. Okay, I am extremely excited because it seems like we're really going to be getting into stuff next arc. But the thing is, it feels like, okay, it feels like we're really getting into things next arc. But this arc was incredible. That's another thing with like some of the Calibloom arcs and stuff. It's like we have the big, sort of massive, shocking things happening arcs. But even the arcs building up to that is so good, because what I love about Kubera so much is the journey, it's the character development, it's the character interactions, and even in some of these arcs where like not a bunch of huge massive things are happening, I think for most people, for me I just think, wow, the character development here was incredibly good. Like I love the things that are being done with Lise, I love the things especially being done with Asha. There's a ton that's happening here that's going to be one of those things where I can't really understand it yet until I know the full details behind what Asha's doing, and then I can come back to this and be like, okay, this is what this meant, that's what this meant. There's a lot of things that are laying the groundwork, that are foreshadowing, that I just, have to keep reading to see what it's foreshadowing for. Like I can tell they're hinting at this or that, but I can't tell like what the answer is until I get to the answer. So I think that it's all been very good in that sense, and I think Mirha's a great character already. Again, this good kind of gray morality character like we've seen with pretty much everybody in Kubera, where it seems like Mirha's doing everything here with the goal to protect Lise. It's just that in order to protect Lise, she also wants to protect Asha, and she went through all of this to make sure that Asha knew, hey, I'm not just blindly defending you. I did my homework so that I can prove I'm not blindly defending you. I'm defending you because I want to protect Lise. And that was really, really all very good stuff. So yeah, insanely good set of chapters, but before we end, I still have another afterword I get to read. Afterword this time says, this is the last chapter of Mythical Island. There was no particular ambiguous meaning to the title of the chapter, the Island of Myth. It's just a 4-letter abbreviation for Era Plateau, the city in the sky with the trustworthy sky tower. Mirha's short, but the proportions are good, so when he's alone he doesn't look that small, but when he's with other characters, okay, I think that what they're trying to say through the translation is Mirha looks normal in scenes by herself, but then when Mirha's in scenes with other characters, you can see how tiny she is. Then Mirha is short. We have it again with Asha. Following the two priests, even the head of the Magic Guild from Carte. Is there a Carte Hyang Woo Ho in Era Plateau? And then, sticker there. Either way, I need to not look down toward where the thumbnails are. Either way, I very much enjoyed these 3 chapters. I very much enjoyed the arc in general, and I can't wait to get to the next one, because as amazing as this was when it comes to developing the characters and everything, I think that with the title of it, it feels like these next 8 chapters, we're probably going to get a bunch of reveals, probably going to get a bunch of the information coming out, and then I think the one after the next 8 is the 30 chapter long one, so that is probably going to be, I would assume, given that the super long ones in the past were like big climactic events, I would say those 30 chapters, once we get whatever craziness happens in the next 8, maybe like, Asha being exposed and everything, once we get all that stuff, we're going to go into whatever the big climax is for those 30, and then we'll continue on after the big climax there to see what happens next. And it could also be a thing like last time where Night It Rained Fire was like a big climax for season 1 when it came to the Atera side of things, but then we had Lies for You, which was a second, somewhat shorter big climax, but for the water channel side of things. So it could even be something like that, where we have one big climax for some of the characters, and then some of those other arcs that are coming after those 30, because we will have a couple more, will be important for different characters, or just, things that are after the big event happens, things are winding down and we're doing different things, sort of like we did after the attack on Calibloom. But either way, that's it. Can't wait to read next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you would like to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, it's appreciated. But if you'd like to help support the channel by sharing, that's also appreciated. Or if you want to help me keep making videos and also get your name at the end of videos, also get One Piece videos a bit early, you can hit join down below to become a channel member, or go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who already are channel members and patrons. Thank you so much to Chosen Regulars Evan, Holly, and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, Efranono, J.A., and the D-Ban, Cheerton Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG, and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pate Ardialo, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.